This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
Here we go. The Adelaide 36 is taking on the Cairns Taipans. Now it's the battle of the minnows, the battle for last place in this one. There's better games in the round, but I still reckon that this one will give us some action because both of these teams are desperate for a win. And the good thing for the Taipans is that they have got the win over Adelaide earlier this season. So I'm going to go with the Taipans here, albeit anything could happen in this one. So we'll take them at the line here. I reckon if they are able to get a lead, it's just going to demolish the Adelaide 36 and they'll be able to get it done there. But the total points is probably where I most want to play here. That's an incredibly low total. Now, when you get two poor rated teams going together, they're usually able to score the ball. So I'm going to take the total points over here. Enjoy the game, and most importantly, gamble responsibly.
I'm never off my grind. I'm always on time. I'm ahead of the game. I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays off. I pay dues. I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so fresh. I'm so raw. Go hard like a day. It's game time like game day.
Filipino star Kai Soto has been a shining light for the Adelaide 36ers, leading his team in scoring last week, plus a game-high rebounding haul the week before. Along with captain Mitch McCarron, who is top 5 in the league in assists and steals, they provide a great 1-2 punch. But will they have enough to KO a Cairns team that could leapfrog them on the ladder, with import duo Scott Machado and Tajir McCall at the head of the Snakes? There's a lot to look forward to as we welcome you to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre as round 16 of the Hungry Jacks NBL continues. Hi everyone, I'm John Casey. Thanks very much for sharing your Friday night with us. This should be fun. The Bigs of Adelaide versus the run and gun and have some fun small ball lineup of the Cairns Taipans. Who's going to prevail? Let's find out from our commentators. We've got Pete Hawley, Leonard Copeland, and the first voice you'll hear, Jack Everett.
Thank you very much, Case, and happy Friday, everyone. Great to have your company for round 16. This Adelaide team, Hulls, as we welcome you in. I reckon they've got a bit of a point to prove. It would have stung their loss to New Zealand last week on their home floor, celebrating a milestone, and it was a less than satisfactory performance.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They were flat overall. New Zealand came and really handed it to them for the full 40 minutes. They want to bounce back, and they're going to have to. One thing Cairns Taipans are going to do, they're going to play hard, play with energy, especially after a few comments from their head coach. So I'm expecting both teams to try and get off on a good foot.
Let's take a look at the 36ers starting lineup with thanks to DoorDash, Coach. DoorDash March Madness, 20% off everything. Use the code word Madness. Tad Dufelmeyer in the starting lineup tonight.
Dufelmeyer in the starting lineup, and that means McCarron's at the 2 spot, and hopefully he can get going, be a bit more aggressive on the offensive end and try to score.
Kai Soto, as you can see there, Case spoke about him off the top tonight, was very, very good last week in the loss, 14 points. First time he's been the leading scorer for the 36.
Yeah, he did all his work early in the first half, and he's growing with confidence each and every game, and he's going to do that with more opportunity with Isaac Humphries out. But what he's going to do is going to hang around in the right spot for dump-offs, get alley-oops. He's going to put the pressure on the offensive glass. He wants to pull down those rebounds. Even here, doesn't get it, but causes enough to Sunday Detch lobs it up to him, even knocked down a 3-ball. He banked it in. There's no chance he called it. This one right here. Take it any way you can get it, big fella. But this is what they want to see. It's been a tough season, but keep giving him that opportunity to grow. He's still very young. He's still very raw, but when you throw it down to a big fella with his non-preferred, he's got a big ceiling.
That's tough.
They're going to be a fascinating watch for the rest of the season, the Adelaide 36ers. The reason we say that, they're 5-12 on the season. They've already, this week, publicly put it out on the record and said, we've got an eye to next season, Copes. You've been around the league for a very long time. Here are the comments from their CEO earlier in the week. What did you think when you saw these?
I just thought, look, at the end of the day, they're saying, we're not good enough this year. We're going to look forward to next year. We're going to go back to the drawing board and get our team right, so next year we'll be okay.
They've got some decisions to make, and it might very well be an interesting free agency market, which we'll take a look at halftime in tonight's game as well. And now that we take a look at the Cairns Taipans and their DoorDash starting lineup as well, some changes to the way that they're going to look. Majuk Deng won't be starting tonight. Is this a little message from the coach?
I think it is. Look, he's the captain, and if you can put your captain on the bench, you can put anyone on the bench. I think he's trying to light a fire under these guys. They certainly should be playing better than they are. You got Machado and McCall, who haven't worked out as well. But look, if he can go to the bench, anyone can go to the bench.
Well, no, Steve Zimmerman tonight, so that's going to be the big key for them. They're going to be small up against it. You got Koi Noi playing in the 4, so he's probably guarding Daniel Johnson. So if the Adelaide 36ers want to feed the big fella the rock and let him go to work. And yeah, Adam Ford had those comments. He wants to make sure that they're going to come out fired up. He's been saying for a few weeks they haven't played consistently enough, and he's expecting a good effort here.
He said after the game and their loss to Sydney, which they were pretty competitive in for a lot of, they didn't get off to the greatest start. They lost by 9 points to a red-hot Kings team. So we're going to start playing like our jobs depend on it.
Well, a lot of that, I think he's saying, the way they've just been coasting through it is they're thinking as well. It's been a tough season. We've had a lot of injuries, things out of our control. Let's just go out there, let's do what we have to do. And he's trying to light a fire, say, hang on, you guys have a lot, we still have a lot to play for. They play for the fans. That's when Cairns are at their best.
Playing for the fans, you're playing for your jobs as well. So you got to perform every night.
Last night, it was the Hawks who got the job done over the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. The second game of round 16 underway at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. And the 78th meeting between these two teams. Home court advantage has been a huge factor in recent meetings between the Taipans and the 36ers. McCall had his pocket picked by Deck. It's out of bounds.
Good start there. Sunday Detch, we know he's known for 3-and-D type player. And here you go. See, Mitch McCarron inbounding the ball. I like it. We saw it a couple of weeks ago with Dufemire playing the one. Mitch McCarron sees the ball in the offense at a different time. He doesn't have to just pass it up and then not see it again. I have to try and create late shot clock. See how they try and get him involved.
Bairstow, look for Johnson down low. His pass chopped off. Qual stepping through. Trying to be aggressive early. Here's Dufemire against his former team. Up the other end, super quick.
And that's a nice draw for him, being aggressive at that point guard position, getting to the basket.
Spent a couple of seasons with the Taipans. His first season as a 36er. Here's Kuat Noi. Trying to bank it home, no good. What about Mitch McCarron at the 2 spot? Is that, when there was discussion around Adelaide looking at a potential import and Jerome Randall's name and Casper Ware's name were discussed, that was, part of that was that Mitch McCarron would go to the 2.
Well, it would have gone a 3, really, if it was Casper Ware, because Sunday Detch can play that 2 spot, and there is Sunday Detch, good floater down the lane. And again, it's something we've seen in the past. This is when Mitch McCarron played for the Taipans, he was playing on the wing. And
he was aggressive, too. He was very aggressive when he played for the Cairns Taipans. Offensively, I mean, he's still doing a great job rebounding the ball and passing the ball, but we need him to score in order for this team to do well.
Case said it pre-game, 5th in the competition for assists per game, Mitch McCarron, 2nd for steals. But it's the points per game number that is a little under what he would like it to be at 6.5 a game.
And to be fair, I mean, imports are playing good basketball, not great basketball. You know, your imports are generally the ones that are doing a lot of the scoring, but because they're not, then you got to go to guys like Mitch, who you know can do it.
There's Keanu Pinder into the starting lineup. Got Noi involved. That'll be a foul on McCarron. Free throws to come for Cairns.
Offensive rebound, Keanu Pinder. Opportunity for him. He'll stay out of foul trouble, but a lot of minutes there with no Zimmerman.
When you look at this Adelaide team and you see McCarron, Bairstow, and Johnson, those 3 guys can play with anybody in this league. You just got to put 2 more guys with them to be consistent every night.
Is one of them a point guard?
One could be a point guard, yes, because I think McCarron's a better player at the 2 spot than he is a point guard. But you need another solid scorer on that wing as well.
Todd Withers not playing tonight for Adelaide, still out with COVID protocols. And as Halls mentioned, Steve Zimmerman, big man in the middle for the Taipans, hasn't travelled with the team this weekend due to knee soreness. Sunday Detch uses the Bairstow screen. Now on the bounce to McCarron. Catch and shoot.
There we
Huge
go.
for his confidence.
There we go.
We haven't seen that all season in terms of just an easy, quick mid-shot clock. This play kind of got broken up as McCall with a little Euro.
Just 12 of 49 from outside coming into tonight, Mitch McCarron.
And a lot of that is the time he shoots. When it's a point guard, bring it up, they try and get into the offense. They have nothing as Bairstow puts the move on. And
McCarron enables Dufemire.
You see, to me, McCarron, you've made that first one. Why not look at the ring and take the second one?
And McCall takes it to the other end and scores. His first points of the night. Back to a 3-point game. Johnson had the seal. No foul called.
CJ Bruton.
Wow.
It's going to be a charge. Good take from Dufemar. CJ Bruton let Daniel Johnson have it. Stop looking for a foul. Here it is. Just a quick.
How nice does it look, though? How nice does it look?
You know, he can shoot it, and there's a good take, good read from Dufemar. But CJ Bruton, Daniel Johnson, he's probably the one guy, actually, he's very good at drawing fouls. He's done it over his whole career. He gets the free throw line a lot. But again, they're going to have smaller guys on him. So right now, it's Tajir McCall who's guarding Daniel Johnson. And when they had that switch, I think it was Ball Qual at the time. That's a travel from Cam Bairstow. Take your time and just go up strong. You've got the size.
The Taipans will play Brisbane on Sunday. Adelaide will travel to John Cain Arena in Melbourne and play Melbourne United. So testing double-header weekend for both teams. Qual turns the corner, elevates and scores over the top of Bairstow.
Great drive.
We got a lot of good attempts on the rim, lads.
The more we see of Ball Qual, the more we like. Very talented young man.
This is what you can't do, fall into the trap, but we've got the mismatches down low and telegraph them. Cairns know that they're going to be a little smaller at some positions, depending who's guarding who. Can't just throw it up there and make it obvious. Walk the ball down, okay, throw it in. Still got to get through your sets.
Right.
That pass from Machado missed its target. He's deep from McCall. Did well not to give away a foul. Adelaide ball from the baseline. Third meeting of the season between these two teams in round 3. Cairns got the money at home, 93-67. In round 12 at this venue, it was 82-71 in Adelaide's favour.
Well, here's CJ Bruton. This is not going to be a very good timeout. You heard him just say he was trying to organise everybody. He didn't get the ball in. 5-second violation.
This might be a spicy one.
This might be a spicy one.
Well, if it is, that's the stand-up, boy. That's what we're going to get. There we go. Stand-up timeout in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. So we can't. For
those who don't see a great deal of the Hungry Jacks NBL, a stand-up timeout is at the coach's request, and we can't go in and take the audio. We can have our camera position like it is now, but we can't go in and take the audio.
Why is that, Jack? Why can't we go in there?
Because
it's not midnight. It's not midnight, so we can't play that kind of audio.
There's some fruity stuff happening, Coach. That's why.
That's what I want to hear.
That's why.
Well, every coach gets one if they want to use it, and you could hear it the way he was yelling at Daniel Johnson, and this is the accountability he's talking about. They were flat against the Breakers.
Yep.
And New Zealand looked really good in that game. And yeah, Adelaide made it a game down the stretch, but CJ Bruton trying to hold everybody accountable every single play.
I think he's saying we're not going to start off slow. We're going to pick this thing up straight away. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you come and sit next to me.
Copes, after last week's loss, CJ Bruton said, what you're seeing at the moment is stress levels through lack of confidence, etc. He was talking about the playing group, but they take us into that mindset as a player.
It's hard, man. Look, when you're losing, you know, you're not. With me, it's hard to explain because
you didn't lose
we had so much success.
Yeah, there you go.
And your confidence was so high all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you still went out and did what you had to do as a job, but you still enjoyed yourself.
Right. The only time you lose is to Gazy in golf. That's not.
Wow.
Oh, no.
That was a hit upside the head, huh?
Oh, no.
That was a great. No golf clubs for you, buddy.
Oh, gee. You better ask Corey for his clubs. He won't be getting any off Copes.
Wow.
Bairstow with the rebound. And McCarron stepped into that 3 with confidence, pulls the trigger again.
Oh.
This is what I'm talking about. Pete,
You reckon this feels good?
Are you kidding me? I feel good for him.
Well, again, it was 2 weeks ago, I think, when they started Dufemar in the 1, and it just freed him up a little bit. And I think everybody was making the comments of they look a little better, and gave Dufemar more confidence as well. That's going to do the confidence a world of good for Jim McCall. He has struggled to shoot the ball.
Just 20% from outside this season.
But what it also does is he can still bring the ball up. But again, if they have a chance to get through a set, he gets to see it in a different part of the offense.
Just don't fall back into that feeder spot, you know, throughout the game. Be aggressive. Now that you've knocked down 2 threes, take the next one to the basket.
Yeah.
You know.
We haven't seen this all season. Just the first part of the offense, you go underneath the screen, steps right into a 3-ball, and it looks good. To Jim McCall, they're going to give him that. He's going to knock that down and make them try and adjust. And that's some more to your point, though, Copes, of he knocked down that first 3, Mitch McCarron, and had a pretty good look and decided to give the extra one. This is your chance. If you're not going down, get the next one up.
Majuk Deng checking into the game for Cairns. There's Kai Soto in for his first minutes as well for the 36ers. Johnson up top. Shot clock at 5. McCarron needs to create late in the clock.
Oh, hello.
Pulls the trigger once more.
Either we're geniuses or somebody's gotten to him. Somebody said, look.
3 made threes in the opening quarter for Mitch McCarron. He's only made 12 for the season.
I'm not sure. I think CJ Bruton was just telling Dusty Hanners, you see what Mitch McCarron's doing, go and see that you can do it better. That's the one way to get the confidence in, get the competitiveness going.
And McCarron with the rebound.
Pull up, McCarron. Pull up, McCarron.
Well, why not?
Ooh, not a mile away either. Loose ball. Johnson doesn't come up with it. It'll be an Adelaide ball.
And that's not a bad shot. I don't care what you say.
Well, let's see. Dusty Hanners. I'm interested to see how this is going to go. And it must have been a lot of stuff said before the game to all players. And the challenge has been put out to Dusty Hanners now.
And some first quarter minutes as well for Hiram Harris, who was really solid against the Breakers, was plus 10 in his time on the floor. Soto in the low block. Finds himself a long way from the basket. He's happy to pull up at the elbow, off target. A little under 4 minutes before quarter time. Pass telegraphed. Now Harris threw it upstairs for Soto. The pass a little off target.
Is that going to be a field goal attempt?
Yep. Hannah's off-balance runner. It drops.
Nice.
Might credit that to Hiram Harris.
Yep.
That's what Dusty Hanners does when he tries to get his head down and likes to get to little floaters, and it's at random points. So if you get too close to him, you're going to probably pick up a foul. Offense is starting to flow for the Adelaide 36ers. See the Cairns look real stagnant right now.
You can hear Cairns coach Adam Ford in the background is saying, come on, they were all standing still.
Yep. Bailed out from Harris, just trying to be a bit too physical, bumping the cut. But that offense looked horrible in that half court, and bring Big Nate in. So here we go. Run something to get Jarway the ball down low. Catches it deep enough, there's no one who can keep him out of the key.
And also, he's a willing passer. So if you try to double team, he'll find the open guy for you. You just got to knock down the shot.
Qual off the inbound.
Hey, we're in it. Try and get something here.
Has 5 of Cairns' 12 points in the opening quarter. Soto. And McCarron gets it back off Harris. Soto for 3. Feeling good after that knockdown last week.
Those are the ones you take one more dribble, get on the rim.
And it was there.
It was.
Oh, Jawai backs in and travels.
Well, there were 2 calls, and in the end, I think Kai Soto was an accidental champ.
So, yeah, he pulled the chair, didn't he?
Well, I think he accidentally, because look at the big Nate's going in, and then, okay, yep. In the end, travelled.
So
I like it. Throw it into him.
If he falls on that chair, we got problems. We got problems.
Let's get courtside to John Casey.
Thanks, Jack. Just an update on Kai Soto. He rolled an ankle at training this week, and CJ Bruton, who was contemplating starting him, couldn't do that after he took the knock at training. He's not quite sure how many minutes he's going to get out of him tonight and how that ankle will go. He's hopeful, but certainly not expecting to play massive minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how long he can stay out there.
We'll keep an eye on him. Case, thank you.
I mean, this is just a completely different Mitch McCarron than we have seen all season long.
It's the Cairns Mitch McCarron when he was very aggressive. What's his career high? Do you know?
We'll find out.
I can tell you that 11 points in the first quarter is a career high for him.
Is it?
Tonight. As per our man, the stat man.
And a lot of it, we talk about that New Zealand game, he was very poor. A lot of it was just running around in there. He's getting a couple of assists, getting on the rebounds. I think he only hit 1 field goal in the end, but he can't afford to run around like a passenger. He's too important to the team. We know he's a great leader. That's why he's the captain. He's had a lot of success in the league. But he's also very important when he can do things like this.
If you watch that post-match press conference, he took a lot of responsibility, Mitch McCarron, as captain, and said, it's on me. It starts with me. He's turned up tonight, and he's leading from the front. Soto Try to tip it in. That's out of play.
He's certainly leading from the front. He would play 40 minutes for me. I'm telling you right now.
Keep an eye on Kai Soto and his minutes, as Case was just mentioning. A little soreness in that ankle. Jordan Nartai for his first minutes as well. And Kenny fed the big man. Nice ball movement from the Taipans.
He's unguardable when you get that. When you get that low, if you let him catch that ball, there's nothing you can do.
That's what you still can have the big presence of Nate. If you run the set right, look at that, just seals himself down there. Throw it to him eventually. He's going to get up. He's going to get fouled. And as you said, if someone tries to run a late double team, he's a very willing passer. He'll find somebody else the spot. Mitch McCarron's career high is 25.
Career high is 25. Well, if he continues to play the way he's playing, that could be in trouble. Can I?
Well,
Jeopardy tonight.
11 points in the first quarter. You're 4 of 5 from the field.
I'm trying to get 50.
You'd be going for at least 30 shots up.
30 shots?
Minimum.
You're getting 30 shots in the first half, bro. What's wrong with you? Kidding?
Jawai goes 2 of 2.
Sorry, Adam. I can't help you with
Taipans bring it back to 3, the difference.
Hey, good.
They're within 3, and Scott Machado hasn't scored. Nor has Majuk Deng, and Kawat Noi only has 2 points. So
it's good to just keep an eye on the substitutions for Adelaide as well, because we heard CJ Bruin's been very vocal, and he's trying to keep everybody accountable. Any mistakes, whether they've got a quick leash.
Hannes gave it up. Besto in the corner.
Nice shot.
Beautiful. They're 4 of 8 from outside in the opening term, the 36ers. They lead by 6 on their home floor. Cairns almost gave it away. Jawai had the seal on Soto. Doesn't finish from underneath. Second time, had a little flat tire and then got fouled.
Well, big fella, it's been a while.
It's never nice. Doing all the hard work. That one was well contested, got his own work back, and then, oh! Those ones hurt. Worked the shoulder through after that.
Yep. Back into the team last week against Sydney for his 200th NBL game. Nate Jawai had missed the previous 9 with a groin injury. He's carved out a very good career here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
One of the nicest big men you'd ever want to meet. It's hard to get mad at him when he hits you with that big forearm and gives you a smile afterwards.
And has done so much for the Indigenous community.
Absolutely.
Both in far north Queensland and across Australia.
Seems as if CJ's going over play after play and position after position every time they get the ball.
Well, I like that. Again, you talk about no lapses. Every single time we want accountability, attention to detail on their offensive end. And then when we flip to the second half, he's going to make sure there's no defensive lapses either.
Hannah's being ridden hard by CJ Bruton on the sidelines, dribbled into the paint.
Well, that's the other thing. Be a little careful that you try to talk through the plays, because then Cairns Taipans will hear it as well.
Hear it as well.
I know exactly Dustin Hannahs is going to it.
Machado with the shot clock at 10. 4 seconds inside the game clock. Gets to his left hand. Soto says no.
With a nice save.
Hannes from a mile out. Just misses. Adelaide lead by 4 at quarter time on their home floor at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. And it's all about Mitch McCarron, who has 11 in the opening quarter. Don't go too far. The second quarter is coming up next in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have your company for Friday night basketball at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Last week, Adelaide shot 3 from 22 from outside against the New Zealand Breakers. Tonight in the first quarter, 4 made threes. They've started well, and they lead by 4, 20-16 over the Cairns Taipans. Tonight's winner of our $50 Kmart gift card, by the way, is Jessica Fisher. That right there, gents, is Hugo. He loves everything about basketball and Michael Jordan. And if Dan Shamir, the coach of the New Zealand Breakers, is here, he would say that his name is Hugo.
Hugo. Hugo.
What a start for the 36ers, and especially Mitch McCarron. By far his best quarter this season.
Tonight we can hear everything that CJ Bruton is saying, the coach of the Adelaide 36ers. Coach, it sounds like Stuffelmeyer misses. He's really riding them hard tonight.
He is. And look, it's a good thing, but also if Cairns are listening, if they're smart enough to listen, it could be a bad thing because they know exactly what's going to happen and what's coming up next. But I understand what he's doing. He's trying to get him to that next level, to the next step, so we can get this thing right.
The goaltending there, good chase from Yep, just a millisecond late.
That pass.
My goodness.
A little ambitious, perhaps, from Stuffelmeyer. Here's Machado from outside.
We're calling Dusty Hannes for the hold. That pass from Stuffelmeyer, that was never on. Again, that's what Cairns are going to do. They're going to try and press up the court. They might throw a half-court trap, a full-court trap. Just work your way through it, pass the ball around. And then when you can get past it, look to score.
Qual off the inbound. Knock one down in the first quarter in exactly the same fashion.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
He's been a real shining light. There you go.
CJ's not having it today, is he?
He's not having it today. I don't even know if we need a coach's mic on CJ. We can all hear it.
Yeah. Dusty Hannes is in the crosshairs right now. Tries to respond at the offensive end. Draws a foul.
Well, it started with Daniel Johnson. He was the first one to get a few words from CJ Bruton, and then another player on the sideline. Here's Sunday Detch.
McCarron comes out of the game.
And I like that. When you go at your superstar first, that lets everyone else on the team knows, I'm not having it. If I can yell at him, I'm yelling at you. So you got to get it right.
Hannes makes the first. For the reputation that Dusty Hannes had when he arrived in the league as a catch-and-shoot star around the world, are you surprised that he's only had 47 three-point attempts for the season?
Well, he wasn't shooting the ball well to start. So, again, he was trying to think, I don't want to keep going down that path, but it's hard because the only way to get out of that is to get enough up to knock him down. But his leash became really short to the fact where he was missed a couple, he'd sit down, he'd barely play. So then it becomes a lot from the shoulders up to try and work through. And when the team's struggling as well, it's a good take. Whoa, he's having some sort of game. But when the team's struggling on top of your own struggles as an import, everything else is magnified.
Absolutely.
These Cairns take the lead. Soto kicks it out to Stuffelmeyer. Shot clock at 7. Time for Hannes to be creative. Tried to be and lost the handle. Pinder runs the floor for Cairns, takes it to the other end, and he's fouled.
That offensive set, look, Daniel Johnson has taken 1 field goal in 7.5 minutes.
One shot.
He's got Majuk Deng guarding him. He's going to do no good just floating around the three-point line. Get him with the back to the basket to trust his shot. And it's good defense from the Taipans, and they're out to the races. This is where Cairns are good. In transition, Pinder draws the foul, going to go to the line, but there's no use of just keeping Daniel Johnson out there. That's when it's the half-court set, and that's what Stuffelmeyer will learn. He's still young to try and be that in that point guard role of, okay, what do we want in this position? Where do I want to go at? Mitch McCarron's off the floor. He's had a good start. We'll try to get Dusty Hannes going. Let's try and get Daniel Johnson a shot. What play can we run that Daniel Johnson will get to the spot that he wants? Against Majuk Deng, it'll be on the block. Let him go to work. Stronger.
Fadeaway.
Even if it's a fadeaway, draw a foul. Just letting him float around the three-point line.
It's not helping him, I agree. Even the cross screen with your point guard, 1 to 5 will get him a shot.
And there's just an inexcusable turnover.
Adam Ford calls a timeout, wants to have a chat about it, but it's been a game of turnovers, unfortunately, for both teams so far. 7 for Cairns, 6 for Adelaide as we get down to John Casey.
The free throw line there. Look, he's not going to be in the conversation for the most improved player in the competition, but he is a vastly improved player from last season when he was here in Adelaide to this season in Cairns. And I spoke to Coach Ford pre-game about that, and he said not only on the floor but off the floor as well. He's working on his diet, he's ticking every box that he can in terms of nutrition and exercise and preparation that perhaps was a little lacking when he was here in Adelaide. And I think it's underscored by the fact that last season Keanu Pinder fouled out 6 times during the season. Last week Keanu Pinder fouled out for the first time this year in round 15 against Tasmania, and Coach Ford suggested that maybe he was a little bit hard done by with a couple of those calls. But 6 times he fouled out last year, and that was a big criticism of him. This year, just the one. In fact, there was only one player who fouled out more last season than Keanu Pinder. Does anyone know who that might be?
Oh.
No.
I'm trying to think of who.
Hit us, Case.
I'm trying to think of who that would be. First thing that comes to my head was Brandon Ashley. I'm not sure that was.
Case going to give us the answer?
No.
Yeah, I can give you the answer if you want.
Yes.
It wasn't Brandon Ashley. He, of course, wasn't here last season.
That was the year before.
It wasn't Matty Hodgson, who also fouled out 6 times. It was Ty Webster, who fouled out 8 times. And on a couple of those occasions, he looked pretty much in a hurry to get out of it.
Yes.
Well, Keanu Pinder has been great. And again, this is why he has been good for the Cairns Taipans. Well, not that part.
Except for the miss.
The first 50% of that. It's just the energy, and he's been able to be freed up a bit. Doesn't have to think through absolutely everything on the floor, and that's where I think he's been able to. Adam Ford's unlocked him. He's saying, look, I'm going to try and not control you too much. I just want you not to get silly fouls and do everything else. Otherwise, play your game.
He's obviously much calmer. They've given him a role. Go grab rebounds, play good defense, be smarter, and he looks 1,000 times better this year than he did last year.
Pools is the one that keeps an eye on the awards across the season. NBL.com.au every fortnight for your awards watch. Pools, where have you got Keanu Pinder in the most improved conversation?
Oh, I've got him in there now. He's definitely in there. I've probably got him around number 4 right now. Okay. But again, he's stood out, hasn't he?
There he is.
Long rebound. He can take it all the way in and score.
Did he go to 3? Did he just...
There's the other 50%.
All right.
Well, the top 2 I've got now, JLA and Xavier Cook, so they've been enormous this season.
Not sure he's going to get past them with great respect.
And those little fouls there. You don't have the chance to get the ball in. Same with the offensive end, offensive glass. Just try and pull back ever so slightly. And that's what Adam Ford has to try and tinker with. Well, how much do I try and pull back? Because as soon as you pull back someone the whole way, they lose what they're good at, what makes them special.
Back to Daniel Johnson. Whoever's running my point needs to get him involved.
There he's setting the screen for McCarron. Harvey King tees one up.
They certainly look better from the three-point line than they did last week.
Another former Cairns Taipan out there in his first season as a 36er. Machado. Wow. Could not get past Sunday Dench. He's not the first one who's had some struggles. An outstanding defender.
Sunday's down in that stands playing great defense.
There he is. He's just understands his role within that Adelaide team.
Defense.
Yeah. Taipans by 2. Machado has no time or space. Had to elevate a tough shot. The 36ers can tie it up or take the lead off this possession. They led it by 4 at quarter time. Harris turns the corner for King. Second made 3 of the quarter.
Well, that was good offense. And again, Daniel Johnson was the one who really moved everybody up, put them in the corner and said, let me get the ball screen with Mitch McCarron. I like that Harris caught it on the move. Mahave King just spotting up, knocking it down for the second time.
Only averaging 2 points a game this season. He's got 6 in a couple of minutes.
Cairns have gone to that one-on-one ball. Whoever gets the ball is trying to score instead of passing that ball around.
Nice pass. King got Harris involved, and he's on the free throw line. This has been a good couple of minutes for the 36ers.
It has been.
I like that from Harris because he was driving a pass. Again, talk about when you come in, how do you make an impact? And it's right here, dump off. Go hard, gets the foul, go to the free throw line. Scott Machado, 0 of 7 to start this game.
I just don't like Cairns. Cairns, when Machado and McCall are in the game, they don't fit because they both need the ball, and they both, they both try to score a little bit too much rather than try to get others involved. They just don't fit, man.
Twelfth game of the season. Hiram Harris spent some time with Illawarra, and last season spent a little bit of time with Cairns as an injury replacement player.
I think they've swapped more players. These two teams have swapped more players than anybody in the league.
Oh, Brisbane and Adelaide a bit close. Brisbane got a few Adelaide 36ers
I
players.
think there's 3 and 3 here, or maybe it might even be more 3 and 4.
And Harris sits down. Jared Kenny back into the game for Cairns, as is Nate Jawai. Trying to give them a bit of experience on the floor. Scott Machado, 0 from 7.
What kind of pass?
Well, even the defense was a bit all over the shop, but it worked. Again, everyone was smooth. Cam Bairstow was just running around, and when Nate comes onto the floor, that's what you've got to do. Sit him low, get a simple cross screen. Whoever switches onto him.
And dribble down and drop that thing in there and stop trying to throw it from the three-point line.
8 turnovers.
Jeez.
In a quarter and a half for Cairns. They had 22, as Detch has fouled. When they played in round 12, Cairns led at 23-9 at quarter time, and then basically threw the game away after that. They had 22 turnovers in that game. It's headed down a similar path again in terms of turnovers as Adam Ford calls a timeout. We're going to head into the Cairns timeout and see what happens. They trail it by 3.
That's twice now. Yours was the first one. Now yours. Where we've done the hard job of navigating the screen. We've done the easy part. We put them into a shot. We wanted them to shoot, and we foul them, and we give them a high percentage free throw. You've done the hard work navigating the screen. Don't foul. It's the shot we want. A side contest is great, but not at the expense of fucking fouling the dude. All right? So just take a breath, navigate it, and pick and choose your battles on this shit. Hey, straight up, just go straight in zip strong, okay? So now you can look to start a little bit higher. Set a screen for a dude to see if we can't get some action off of it, and then look to crack in, all right? Zip strong. Come on, fellas.
Adelaide have scored the last 8 points. Now, that's an interesting development. That man in the black shirt is the general manager of the Brisbane Bullets, Sam McKinnon, sitting alongside Jai Watson from Mogul Sports.
What do you think's going on there?
I wonder what's happening there.
A lot of free agents. Mogul Sports represent a lot of free agents. The key ones are going to be available next season.
So,
and who we talking? You know something, Pete? You know a lot of things.
Not enough.
Oh, please.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Days, get off the fence, bro. Give us something.
I don't think you've got to be Einstein to work out that one of his key clients is Nathan Sobey, who's a free agent at the end of the season. Sam McKinnon just happens to be the general manager of the team that Nathan Sobey's at the moment.
Creek is another Mogul Sports client.
Wow. Those are 2 big names.
They are.
Any more? Cooks from Sydney?
I'm not sure if he's Mogul Sports, but he's a free agent.
I think he is.
So he's going to, well, I think he'll be in the NBA.
Perhaps.
We've got a bit to talk about at halftime, I reckon. Good. Going to take a good look at some of the names who will be free agents at the end of this NBL22 season.
Simple basketball.
It's no rocket science.
Simple basketball. Cross screen, post a big fella up, drop it in, lay the ball up.
And the other reason you have to do that is Mitch McCarron gets deep, kicks it out to Bairstow. Mitch McCarron, that's the one he just look a little bit more aggressive at trying to get up, an easy one, and that's what happens. Taipans will run it straight back down the throat. Transition defense for 36ers wasn't there. But if you don't make Nate the focal point down the offensive end, then he's going to try. They're going to try and expose him on the defensive end, and it's tough for him to be out there just like that. Yep. So okay, that's happened. That's what Adelaide's going to do. They're going to try and pick him apart a little bit in the pick and roll. But how do you counteract that? Well, let's get him the ball next to the basket, so when he's out there, we're at least going to get him some looks. And look, if he's not going to score, at least he can use his size to put a couple guys on the floor.
Daniel Johnson's first points of the night, and only his second field goal attempt. To go back down to Juwai. It's knocked out of play. Shot clock at 4. Adam Ford had to look a long way up to give that message.
He didn't tell him what to do. He begged him, please, can you please, Chairman, please.
What a block from Mojave King. He's playing with some energy in this second quarter.
Good chase there from Mojave King.
That's great defense.
Tell you what, that's someone who was listening when Dusty Hannah was in the exact guard in the same player ball qual in the same baseline out of bounds and was getting ripped for not going over. That's a man who was listening to what CJ Britton was saying.
Part of the NBL's Next Star program is, and they go for the same play and make a mess of it. Bairstow, little mid-range jumper off target. Jim McCall, the rebound, has 5 points. Cuts through the traffic. Second time around, misses as well. That's 2 from close range. Adelaide push ahead. Great interesting pass from King.
All right, great pass. You've seen the big fella now. Get him the ball. Get him going.
I think you just saw someone pointing up towards the hoop, and then once he threw it, probably had hard in his mouth. I think Daniel Johnson is not going to go up and flush that.
Oh, no, no.
That's caught a Cairns foot. And the double team worked.
Just come this side for me, Nick.
Adelaide have scored the last 5 points.
Here we go.
Not trying to force anything Mojave King himself. Just, you're right, just threw it up there. Let Daniel Johnson get a bit more involved. He's got 5 points now.
Not sure that DJ's stuffing that at 33 years of age.
I'm not sure DJ's stuffing that at 23 years of age. Are you kidding me?
Detch.
Oh.
And 1.
Just bailed him out at the very end. That was great defense up until the very end.
And then got a puncher on the rim. That's what happens. You see it just dies on the hoop. Good defense, then bail out there and then puncher. Those are the ones, yeah, the foul's there, but that also has no right to go in. But this is a good little period here for the 36ers.
Cairns went on a little mini run out of the timeout. Scored 6 unanswered points, but Adelaide have hit back with now 7 of their own.
And that's by playing defense and being smart.
Detch misses the extra. Kawat-Noit finding life very difficult at the moment because of Sunday Detch. Managed to get away. He's stripped. There's Sunday once more. Gets McCarron involved and he lays it up. 13 points for the Adelaide captain.
Fans just aren't smart. They're not playing smart basketball. Everyone's trying to go one-on-one. There's no spacing.
Now they head down to Soto. He was clipped on the arm by McCall.
Sunday Detch, we know he's a good defender, got their hands in there, and Mitch McCarron thought he passed it a second too late. It's a good finish.
That's a great finish.
13 points now. So Jim McCall was screaming for a challenge here from Adam Ford. And I'll tell you one thing, Adam Ford, over the course of the season, has now understood we will not listen to players when it comes to coaching.
But he seems to trust his players more than anyone else, though. They run to him and say...
A lot of the time, he's been stiff on a couple.
Yeah.
He's been stiff on a couple.
Yeah.
But that looks like he might have a case there to Jim McCall.
Soto makes the first. Made his debut when the teams played in round 3.
1.
He goes 2 of 2, the big man. It's a game-high lead right now for the 36ers. 11 unanswered points. Real gut-check stuff in this last 2 minutes for the Taipans. Pinder with his back to the basket. Elevates over the top of Soto. It's taken out of the cylinder. He gets another chance. Kenny.
Well, Adam Ford's not happy. It looked like there was a lot of contact there on Keanu Pinder. So Nate Jarwai's up and about as well. Tell you what, I'll be like, yep, I'll call that next time.
Absolutely hit. Absolutely hit.
I think, yeah, that's looked like he might have a case there too, Adam Ford. Looked like there was a bit of contact across the head. But this whole quarter has been coming down to who's playing smart. That's a good smart play.
Nice pick and roll by Pinder.
Nice play.
8 points now, 6 rebounds for Keanu Pinder. 4 on the offensive end. Showing that he can fill that void with a starting role and only 1 foul.
Soto off the back of the iron. Taipans get their numbers up ahead. Machado, 0 from 7 from the field. It's in and under, found Pinder. Wow. Back-to-back buckets for the Taipans.
And again, if you're the Taipans, the simple is better. Pick and roll, get downhill, let Scott Machado try and make a play. We know he's not shooting the ball well, but don't try and force anything, don't try and rush anything. Just set some simple on balls as Dusty Hannahs tries to find a bit of a heat check.
That was
without being hot.
Here's Pinder.
Oh, Pinder is putting on a show.
10 points, extra free throw to come. Make that 12 points. He's 5 of 8 from the field.
There you see it again. Simple basketball, pick and roll. That's what he does well. Just hang around the right spot. Want to come off Kai Soto, but you take it how you get it. The maturity in his game of this, like so often we've seen him just try and go up and just say, I'm just going to try and dunk it. Knew he wasn't quite there. Double pump. Gets the M1 opportunity. Set himself a good half.
Scored the last 6 points. This has been a good run from the Taipans, Copes.
It has. And a lot of that is determined how Adelaide's playing on the offensive end. Some bad shots. I thought that last shot by Hannah was a rush shot. Anytime you're shooting a 3 like that and miss it, they're going to get out and run. And they can run with anyone when they look well.
It's been a game of runs, this one. Cairns went on a 13-2 run and got it to 27-22. Then Adelaide went on an 11-0 run, got it to 42-31. Now Cairns are on a 6-0 run. Just heading into halftime, a minute before halftime, and the 36ers, when they led it by double figures, have just left the door open here for the Taipans.
Well, they have. And again, if Adam Ford talking right now, Cairns having a chat to Daniel Johnson, enjoying themselves, and they'd be saying, look, how much better do we, when we slow it down, we get the ball where we want, just a simple ball screen and roll and have some movement. Good things are happening.
I'm guessing Mitch McCarron is not smiling about the music. Halls, it's not his sort of music. Anything with the dance beat.
Mitch McCarron he used Simon Mitchell's playlist a lot. They have very similar taste in music. Poor is the word I think we're looking for.
What does Cal? What does CJ say at halftime to the Adelaide 36ers? What's his message?
Well, they've had a chance to blow it open twice, and they've just let the Taipans back in it. So a lot of it will be, again, the same thing. Let's try and keep it as simple as possible.
Shot clock at 8 for Hannahs. There's Bairstow diving to the basket. He misses.
Not much you can do about it. That's the good look. It's a great look. Just got to knock it down.
Daniel Johnson, 3 field goal attempts and a half. Machado, little 2-for-1 action. This is the 3 ball. '36ers lead by 4. McCarron with 13 points in the first half. Dufelmeyer, extra pass for Johnson was a good one.
I still like that from Mitch McCarron. He got deep enough. I know he wasn't looking to score, but got deep enough to worry the defence out of it. Good pass on the back door and then the extra one.
I get your point.
Daniel Johnson just offering a bit of referee advice. So here it was.
I'm listening to you.
Little back door from Boothmeyer and the other one.
You exaggerate, the harder it is for me.
Daniel Johnson. I like that. Good communication. Daniel Johnson's upset, saying there's a bit of contact. Referees, both of them saying, look, we can see it, but don't do a little bit extra mayonnaise. We don't need that. We'll call it.
Sometimes they'll call it. Sometimes you think you need to put that mayonnaise on it because you're struggling as a player. You want to get to the free throw line. You do whatever you can. I get it on both ends.
Averaging 15 points a game this season. 6-time leading scorer with the 36ers, Daniel Johnson. So the last possession of the opening half will be with the Taipans, who were down double digits and have fought their way back. McCall puts the ball on the floor. He's fouled with a second to go.
Good take to Jim McCall. Andre Dett's trying to come across and just turned his body. Got him. And across the arm. Been good from the line, both teams. Taipans 10 of 10. Adelaide 9 of 11. So with me saying that, you can imagine what's about to happen. There you go.
True to form. It's the 36ers who lead at half-time. The Taipans have kept themselves in it. 44-39 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Cairns looking for their 5th win of the season. Adelaide looking for their 6th. The second half should be a fascinating one. Let's get to John Casey.
Mitch McCarron, great first half. You must be happy with how that unfolded.
Yeah, 44-39. I mean, defensively, not bad. You know, we had some mistakes, gave him some free throws, gave him some open layups, but if we take those away, pretty good defensively.
Career high 11 points in the opening quarter. Was that always the plan? You were going to shoot or let it fly a little more?
I'm hoping I got to let it go. You know, that's the message to everyone. We want to be aggressive. If we create good shots, got to shoot them.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Mitch McCarron there, the Adelaide 36ers. Well, at one stage they were out to a double-figure lead, but they'll settle for a 5-point edge here at halftime. It's Adelaide 44, the Taipans 39. A whole lot more coming your way. Friday night hoops here. The Hungry Jacks NBL. Stay with us.
Great to have you with us here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Friday night at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, and the home team lead it by 5, 44-39. Mitch McCarron, the captain, has led the way for the 36ers with 13. At the other end of the floor, though, Keanu Pinder is having a night in the starting lineup for the Cairns Taipans with 13 of his own. This first half has been very much a game of runs.
Well, it has, and again, it's been a game of smarts when it comes down to which team wants to be smarter. We try and attack what the defence is giving us. I love that CJ Bruton and Adam Ford are both keeping the players accountable out there. That's what they need to see from these two teams, which, let's be honest, all season long have shown a lot of inconsistencies, but have shown flashes of, hey, when we see what Adelaide did in the first quarter, where everyone's thinking, where's this been all season? Yes, we're talking about Mitch McCarron, but there's other guys as well getting involved. Dukamai running the one, Sunday Detch on the defensive end, them getting out and running. And in the second quarter, when Cairns started to just do simple sets, the thought was, where's that been? When you do that every time, when Nate's in, we can take the success. There's Keanu Pinder with 13 and 7. Mitch McCarron, who we'll talk about. Daniel Johnson finally got the ball in the second quarter. Ball Qual had his spurt, and Mitch McCarron, he took one shot in that second quarter after going 4 or 5 in the first. So that's not enough. You're shaking your head, Copes, because we understand why. There are the stats. The shooting's a bit better for the Adelaide 36ers, but setting up for a really nice second half. So I'm looking forward to this.
Copes, let's talk about Mitch McCarron, who we mentioned that as an Adelaide captain. After last week's loss to New Zealand, he was the one that put his hand up straight away and said, it starts with me. I'm going to lead the way next time. Next time is tonight, and he's leading the way at halftime.
Absolutely. That first quarter, he came out on fire, and it looked great. It made the team. That gives the team a lot of confidence when your leader leads from the front, knocking down open jump shots. And we know he can shoot it. We've seen that. But when you're shooting 5 for 6 from the field, that's not enough shots for me in the first half. I don't care what you say. Am I right, Pete?
No, you're spot on. And this is the thing with Mitch McCarron. You look at the success he's had over his career, and he's had a lot of great success in the NBL. He's played in the green and gold. We know that as well. He's played in Europe. And you look at what he can do. He's a great passer, willing passer, really good defender. We know he's getting steals and do all that. Really good rebounding guard. But he can also score the ball. And it's, again, I think it's taken him a long time, and he hasn't kind of tapped into, okay, who are the scorers on this Adelaide team? Daniel Johnson, the most consistent one. Then who else? There's no one. And I think he's tried to get everybody involved, and now in this game realises maybe it's got to be me. This isn't Melbourne United. You don't have Chris Golding on your team. You don't have Jock Landau on the team, and you don't have him back in the day. It was Casper Ware. You don't have these guys who you can still have a massive impact and let them worry about ticking the scoreboard over. Adelaide needs points. And that's what he's trying to do.
He needs to shoot the ball.
Keanu Pinder's having an impact for the Cairns Taipans in the starting lineup tonight in the absence of Steve Zimmerman, who's out for the weekend with soreness in the knee. He's making the most of his opportunity. 13 points on 5 of 8, 7 rebounds. He's been everywhere.
There was talk of putting him in the starting lineup a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know what happened, but he brings the energy. He's playing a lot better this year than he did last year. He's a bit more calmer. They've given him a role. Just go to the offensive glass and get what you can. No silly fouls and shoot the layups, and that's what he's doing.
Well, the role for Keanu Pinder is, you're right, cross the offensive glass, dunk it, and block it. And that's really it. And then it's trying to keep out of the fouls, and that's freed him up a bit to play his game.
12 points in the second quarter, a career high for him. The back end of this season here in the Hungry Jacks NBL is going to be fascinating for teams like the Adelaide 36ers, for the Taipans, because it is going to be one of, I think, the biggest years in quite some time in terms of the free agency market and some of the names that are going to be available this off-season.
There's some big names.
Well, I mean, you mentioned it. Nathan Sobey is probably one of the hottest ones. That's going to be a ticket that every club would love to have Nathan Sobey. And it's, you think about it for your club, you're like, oh, we've got a great player in that position. You can make room for Nathan Sobey.
You would make room for Nathan.
Absolutely. So I think everybody will be hot. Mitch Creek is another one. Mitch Creek is going to be a really big signing. Xavier Cooks is a name. Joe Luala-Chul. I expect both of those to probably be on the NBA radar.
Blanchfield.
Todd Blanchfield, another one for the Wildcats. And you think him maybe starting to show that Perth could be a home for him for the future.
You two have played in the league. You understand how this works better than anyone. These conversations are happening right now. Is that correct? I think our heads are in the sand.
Let me tell you how
it's not happening.
It happens like this. Show me the money. That's how it happens, bro. That's it.
It whispers happen. A lot of players will be hearing from the agents and stuff, and they look, I'm not trying to focus too much on it, but you're right. The conversation's always going to happen, especially when you're a massive guy. Like Nathan Sobey's going to be the big ticket item.
Absolutely.
So again, every team knows that. Before the season starts, you say circling, what player will we love to see as part of our club next year? Before the round one, okay, well, Nathan Sobey's coming out of contract next season. We could use him, and he's run around in an Adelaide uniform before, so I'm sure Adelaide will be thinking we can make room for him.
Absolutely.
How does those negotiations go again, Coach?
Show me.
That's what he does here.
That's what he does here as well. Second half coming up next. Rod Tidwell's in commentary tonight with us as well, which is superb. It's Adelaide who lead 44-39 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The 36ers on top by 5, but CJ, a game of momentum. They outscored you 8-2 at the start of the second, got out by 5, then you went on an 18-4 run to get it back, then they hit back again. What's going on?
This is basketball. It's a game of runs, okay? So, clearly we got to do a better job of just slowing them down. And when we're disciplined and we do the right things, we've sort of kept them at bay. But, you know, like, teams are going to make shots. And right now they've had a couple big plays and coming in, so we just need to settle ourselves right now and regroup and finish off in the second half.
Mitch McCarron, 11 points in the first quarter, a lot more aggressive. That was the plan?
Always the plan is for him to be aggressive. I feel that the more I can get him to be aggressive, the better we'll become. Not only now, but for the long run too.
Appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
His demeanour's been interesting tonight. CJ Bruton as coach. We spoke about it earlier. He's been pushing this group pretty hard to try and get a result. McCall takes it to the rack. No foul called. Plays through. And then the no-look dime for Pinder.
Pinder's just
hanging around.
Just hanging around, picking up points.
It's a good take. It was a good set drawn up from Adam Ford. McCall had a really good look. Got his own rebound. He's got McCall guarding Daniel Johnson. And look where Daniel Johnson is on the floor. You run a set, you're trying to get something else going.
Bairstow sets the pick for McCarron. Forced up a tough
I got a
look.
question for you.
Well,
You got Daniel Johnson on the wing and you got Bairstow inside. Do you think you could have both of those guys on the floor at the same time and both on the box?
well, no, you can't. But you look at who you're going to. Do you want to throw the ball to Cam Bairstow on Keanu Pinder, or do you want to get Daniel Johnson on the block with Tajir McCall back to basket?
Every time.
And he did set one screen and sat in the corner. So it's that we talk about it being a game of smarts. This is what it's come down to in the first half.
Jeez.
McCall out of control. Threw it back out. Machado reeled it in.
See, you can get a better set than that. It becomes one-on-one rather than... And that's a good shot.
That's why you want him out there. And again, there you go. Keep Cam Bairstow on the three with Daniel Johnson on the block. But again, just pick and choose.
Yeah.
What is the defense? What is the defense giving you? Who is guarding who? Where is our advantage down the floor? And when you're not a team that notoriously plays fast, like the Adelaide's not, you saw them just walk it up with a bit of a semi-fast break there. You have time to look at, survey the floor. That's what Dufresnoy will grow into. Is he? Jim McCall just lets someone fly. Adelaide's going to live with that completely. But again, you see Mitch McCarron just slow it down. Okay, you're going to take a step back. And Adam Ford called that timeout before that shot even fly.
I don't know if he's mad at the defense or he's mad at that offensive set that he just
I'm
ran.
going to say he's mad at basketball.
At
Basketball.
That's basketball.
Well, that's exactly right. Look, who's picking up the ball? Because everyone's pointing. And again, that's going to be tough because that's down on Keanu Pinder. You, unfortunately, in transition, you've got him.
50-41. Cairns call a timeout. Let's get down to John Casey.
Thanks, Jack. I'm with Sam McKinnon here, Brisbane Bullets mover and shaker. In town talking to Jai Watson. Nathan Sobey, his agent. He's the only one you've got under lock and key. Who are you looking at here?
Oh, just here observing. Got a good relationship with Mogul and Jai, so Sobes is a priority for us to re-sign. So I was in Adelaide, so it's all about networking.
And you're in Melbourne earlier today as well, so it's a busy time for the GMs.
Definitely is. You're always evaluating and looking at what free agents are out there, and we've got a bit of the season to go for us, and we hope our guys can finish the year off strongly, but we've always got a mind in the future, so it's part of what I do.
And you were speaking to Nick Barbato, the new GM here in Adelaide as well. As you say, getting around, speaking to people, just getting the lay of the land.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like I take him through that. CJ's a good friend of mine. I want the best of CJ.
Best of luck tonight and for the recruiting season.
Cheers, thank you.
Sam McKinnon keeping his cards very close to his chest as the general manager of basketball at the Brisbane Bullets.
And so he should right now anyway.
Well, I'm not sure we're going to get Sam McKinnon saying, yep, Nathan Sobey free agent, we don't want him back.
Yeah, that's right.
But again, back on that defensive transition, so you see there, Keanu Pinder was one, he unfortunately was just in the crosshairs at the time, but you don't have anybody in transition. Someone has to step up and take the ball, and a lot of the time you're taught, if you've got time, he tries to force one up. That's 3 possessions on the offensive end in a row they've tried to force up. But if you've got time to point at someone, you've got time to guard someone.
That's right.
And McCarron, 16 points is a season high. It's an offensive foul against Daniel Johnson, who's just struggled to get himself involved tonight.
That's where you need, again, a veteran point guard to get him involved. Come down, run a play, point someone out. Listen, you go to the box, you stand here, I'm throwing that ball outside. Go to work, Daniel Johnson. And we know he can. Rarely are you going to win with one guy on the Adelaide 36 scoring well. You need more scores.
Good block there from Detch. Again, I like that from Scott Machado. Getting deep, you've been struggling to shoot the ball. 0 of 9 tonight, but wrap the ball around to Big Nate.
Give it to him. Go to work, Nate.
Bairstow did a good job denying him of it. McCall to the basket, misses from underneath. Kept it alive, though, for Jawai. Forces it in.
That's what he's going to do. Big body. See CJ Bruton just saying, stop looking at it and grab it. Well, easier said than done when Nate's down there.
Taipans led the rebound count 26-17 at half-time, which is Adelaide's biggest differential at half-time of the season. And that's for a Cairns team without Steve Zimmerman. Bairstow tees it up. McCarron misses. He's been in there for a while now. Here's Johnson. He can't score either. 36ers just cannot put the Taipans away. McCall knocks down the 3. It's Back to a 4-point game.
Let me say the first team that makes less mistakes probably win this game.
Oh, boy.
That's a frustration shot.
Absolutely. Hasn't seen it. Hasn't seen it where he wants to see it, I should say. There's a turnover here from Mitch McCarron.
Expect a timeout from CJ.
And McCall. And one. Bairstow stepped in to take the charge, but McCall beat him to it.
Great pass. Wide open man. Take the shot. He was leaning in.
Oh, you think there's a bit of timeout coming because Cairns have been on a little streak here. A couple of subs instead, and you spot on a frustration shot from Daniel Johnson. And again, on one hand, you can understand, and yet you see him just try and turn his body into it, but he still has to be smarter than that, Daniel Johnson.
McCall with the extra. Let's get down to Case.
Jack, Taipans have scored the last 7 points here and doing a good job of it at the moment. Just getting back to the 36ers rebounding stats that you were talking about. In their 17 games this season, Adelaide has only been out-rebounded twice. And one of those was here 4 weeks ago by the Cairns Taipans. And Adelaide averaged 39 rebounds a game to be second in the competition, and the Cairns Taipans are 8th at 36. But they've had the better of Adelaide on the boards in their last 2 appearances.
And it's now a 1-point game.
Lifted their energy. The Taipans, Jim McCall setting the tone. We know he's a terrific defender. Adam Ford loves it, and so he should. This is what he wants to see. But again, your defense is going to set the tone, bring the energy up. Still be patient on the offensive end. That's where they've got to try and find that balance right now.
And this game of runs continues. The Taipans have scored the last 8. Even inbounding the ball at the moment is hard for Adelaide. Majuk Deng, limited minutes now. He's only played 9. Across the season, averages 29. Adam Ford.
And only 1 shot for the game so far.
Not going to him tonight. Here's Dufelmeyer. Pounces on the loose ball. Soto's little runner is flat. Taipans playing for the lead on this possession. Machado spins. Found Deng in the corner. That's not it. Cairns 4 of 13 from outside tonight. Dufelmeyer, nice drive.
Great drive.
Much needed bucket for Adelaide.
Absolutely.
Take what the defense gives you. They're going to play him for that. They're going to try and make him make some sort of rushed decision. Did well to get on the other side of the hoop and use that rim as protection from Nate coming across.
McCall, 3 on the clock. High arcing 2. Gets it to go and tells Dufelmeyer all about it.
They will both have a bit of a few words to say to each other. That's all we want to see.
Let's get ready to rumble. Nothing wrong with it.
36ers by 1. McCarron, not that time. 6 of 11 from the field tonight. Machado's got a good look in the corner for Qual. He'll get another chance.
2 for 9. Whoa.
Second game of round 16. Doubleheader tomorrow. Tasmania look to make it 3 for the season against the Illawarra Hawks. And the Kings will take on the Phoenix.
Oh, you're not moving him.
Nope.
He's not going anywhere. That is... The big fella grabbed the ball with 1 hand.
That was...
Dr. J up in there.
Hello.
You got a suction cup in there?
Everyone's standing, watching.
That's what's happened right now. I mean, Dame Johnson's off the floor. And they've had to try and create something one-on-one. And again, that's where Mitch McCarron, okay, you brought the ball up, get it to a side, clear everybody out, and get a ball screen on the wing where you want the ball. Just playing into the Taipans' hands right now.
Machado played for contact. And has stayed behind to argue the point. Adelaide push ahead.
That's a blocking foul to Jim McCall, and this might be one. Adam Ford Adam Ford saying it's a good call, so he's not going to challenge it. And we don't like to see those. We don't like to see those. If you're not looking and you're just running the lanes hard and someone stops, we don't often like to see that. So we'll see Hiram Harris, the Jim McCall, just runs into him. And
yeah, it's stupid.
And he might have, when you break it down, he might have been there. But again, it was so touch and go. And you just don't like to see that, especially when the big is just not even looking ahead. So see here and just trying to get it and still moving to the left.
Second foul.
Mari.
And Scotty Ninnis.
Adelaide royalty right there. ×2. Brett Maher, whose signature is on the court here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre.
There'll be a cab sav somewhere.
Definitely.
Around there.
If he was out there, they wouldn't be shooting at 36% for the field, that is for sure.
Nick Marshall into the game. So Nick Marshall's coming on this third quarter. No Dusty Hanners. Dusty Hanners 2 points, 0 of 5. We know CJ Bruton was unhappy in that first half with his defensive efforts.
He's got a lot of talent, Nick Marshall. 22 years of age. Spent the last couple of years around the 36ers program. He's also a very talented junior footballer. Nartai couldn't get the three away. Throws it up in the end with the right hand. McCarron, 16 points. He's the game's leading scorer. He's fouled on the floor. That'll be against Nartai.
I still think he's got room to be even a little bit more aggressive right now. Their offense has dried up. They haven't even got a good shot for the last couple of possessions. So right now with the lineup he's on, he's going to need the ball in his hand to be that point guard. But before, when it was Sunday Detch, you could just say, look, bring the ball up. I'm going to play the two. Let's run this, where I can get the ball with about 15 seconds to go and try and make a play.
Johnson and the size advantage. This is Mojave King with the offensive rebound. Adelaide's 8th of the game. Pinder almost took it away from McCarron.
Oh.
He's having a night.
Well, that's not exactly how I envisioned it would happen, but again.
But he can do it, though.
He can do it.
We know this. I'd love to see him in a high pick and roll with Daniel Johnson, because you can't guard them both if Daniel Johnson's setting the screen up high. McCarron can either get to the basket or stop it at 3 and pull up or kick it.
So this is what I was saying in that possession before, when he can slowly bring it to the wing, clear out that side, call Daniel Johnson in, he's going to pop. So if he sets a good screen and creates the space, Daniel Johnson going to the corner, there's going to be a guy on the shoes and socks logo as the help. That's a long closeout for a shooter in Daniel Johnson. And if they overhelp, then Mitch McCarron's going to be somebody aggressive downhill. Basketball is a simple game.
Well, it's simple when you retire. Yeah. You're able to see what's going on.
Simple from here, that's for sure.
That's right.
36ers by 4.
Another 4 shot.
Will Qual, after a big start to the game, is a little quiet. He's 5 of 12 for the night. Bairstow. Marshall.
Move.
Johnson on the block.
Oh.
Taipans might have dodged a bullet there. It was a good look for DJ. Kenny. Just inside for Pinder. Tried to make it work. Again, a forced shot. Adelaide are having a good couple of minutes defensively. Marshall with the spin.
Great spin.
And the finish.
That's going to feel good. You heard CJ Bruton. Wasn't happy down the other end.
His first points of the night.
That's the way you can tell the head coach, easy now, without having to verbally say it.
That's right.
Final minute of the third quarter.
Move.
They force it and they turn it over again. Here's McCarron. Took it upstairs.
Well, he's feeling good, isn't he? He's got those hops. I thought normally off 2 feet. McCarron trying to enter the conversation. Have a look at this. And he was sizing him up, and then right here said, yep. And Oh, in the end, Natai got a bit of the ball. He got his body underneath and got his arm, got his hand.
But before that play, Natai passes the ball inside on the box and stands. His man digs down. Everyone's standing watching. Of course there's going to be a turnover. There's 10 people in the lane. There's nowhere to go.
12 turnovers tonight. They lead the competition. That's a stat you don't want to be leading the competition in. 15.5 a game. They've been their own worst enemy.
And Adelaide are giving them chances. They're just not taking advantage.
7-0 run right now for the 36ers on their way to three-quarter time.
Just way too much standing around. Way too much standing around.
And McCall trying to make something happen. Spin at his pocket pick by Mitch McCarron.
It's been awesome, Mitch McCarron all night. Oh, the sham got off.
4 seconds. A foul by Kenny is going to put Adelaide on the free throw line with 1.5 seconds left.
4 seconds on that clock. I got the ball in my hands. I'm not passing it to anybody on that court.
I don't know. It doesn't matter how many seconds left on the clock. You're still not passing to anybody left.
Well, I'm just saying.
He's right, though.
He's a funny man, but it's 4 seconds.
You're right, especially the way you played. Yeah, Mitch McCarron, you're going to take that last shot. And in the end, I still like Mojave King being patient, realising Daniel Johnson had the mismatch, though. He was either going to have that last little layup or...
You're a funny guy, Pete.
DJ goes 2 of 2. Kenny can get it away from half court. It's Adelaide who lead by 10 at three-quarter time. They've lost the last 4 in their home state. They're looking to buck that trend and get the job done tonight. They're in the best spot possible. Stick around, you're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. $61.51 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, and Lifesavers have launched a new range of Fruit Tingles chocolate balls and chocolate blocks. You can get them in any supermarket right now. The new chocolate range is a fun way to enjoy the iconic and nostalgic Fruit Tingle Lifesavers that we all know and love. As the second biggest sweet tooth in the commentary team halls, they will appeal to you.
Oh, you love
I love Fruit Tingles and I love chocolate.
There you go. That's all you need to say.
You're not the biggest sweet tooth in the commentary team.
Andrew Gaze.
Oh, my goodness.
There's the goat. Good start to the fourth quarter.
He's been quiet.
He has been very quiet.
points and rebounds. Usually he's leading the team in rebounds.
It's been a little quiet in general the last few games. The last 5 games, Cam Bairstow averaged 9 points and 6 rebounds. In the previous 7, he was averaging 14 points and nearly 11 rebounds.
Didn't he go down with the injury? Didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
He missed a couple of games. Just having a trough in the season. He's had a lot of peaks. Been a great recruit for Adelaide.
Now move.
That's what he can do well, just walling up. Mitch McCarron, his 9th rebound on the night to go this 21 points.
Nick Marshall starting the 4th quarter. Bairstow steps into the 3.
You're on the line when you catch the ball.
It's Jim McCall. Hustle was there, but stepped over the line.
Hear the explanation from our officials?
But Cam Bairstow, it's kind of like not the matchup. He's very fundamental, and normally he knows where guys trying to go to so he can exploit them on the offensive end. Keanu Pinder is the one to start on him. Keanu Pinder just goes everywhere.
That's right.
So you can't really try and beat him to the spot, use that physicality. That's an offensive foul.
I'd love to hear Nathan Jawa yell like that, like someone's hurting him. Nathan.
He made sure the official didn't miss that one.
100%. You see this big shadow going from under the basket to the inside the court.
There was definitely contact there, but you'd think for the majority of, like 98% of the fouls, offensive fouls called against Nate, that there would have to be some sort of mayonnaise involved because it's hard to move him.
Machado's pass almost intercepted by Marshall.
Got to be smarter than that, Machado. Machado's been quiet as well. 0 for 10 tonight. And 3 turnovers.
Yeah. Adelaide looking for their 6th win of the season. Jawai scores.
That's a big body.
Right now, Cam Bairstow sitting down. Put Nate on the block against Kai Soto. As we keep talking about, he will pass it out. If you send a double team, he'll find you if you're open, but you can't just stand still behind a defender. Get to the right spot, he'll find you.
Karen for 3.
And there's to Jim McCall's defense on full display.
Now Deng rushes to the other end. McCall, as casual as you liked.
Great pass. Great pass. Oh,
Jawai
Jawai
with
with
the
a seal.
And then clever enough to throw it onto Soto and get it out of bounds.
Nimble. Is that a... Can you put Jawai...
He got in there quick, though. Have a look at him. I thought it was like, yep, that's... Look, quick hands. And then follow it up. So Dulfamire and Sunday Detch back into the game.
Starters minutes. Starting position, I should say, tonight for Tad Dulfamire. He's played 18 minutes.
Cross screen from the 1 to the 5.
He's knocked out. Noi reels it back in. Second chance for the Taipans. McCall. He threw it back in. Machado.
Give me one.
Still can't knock one down. 0 from 11.
Well, had plenty of chances. TJ Bruton trying to get them to clean up that glass. And tough night. Just one of those nights for Scott Machado. That was wide open. 2 offensive rebounds. I think that's what Adam Ford's saying is just how many opportunities do we need? A couple of those were layups. And again, the way they were trying to defend Nate on the block, Majuk Deng flashing to the free throw line just has to be a little quicker.
Yep.
Because in the end, Adelaide played it pretty well. As soon as you see them try and front or get around him.
4 of 18.
Good hustle.
Tonight from the 3-point line. There's Sunday Detch.
Great hustle. Just wanted it more. And it's tough for Scott Machado, but right now, he's got to forget about that 0 of 11. You're down 10, you got 7 minutes to go. If you make enough plays to win this game, everyone forgets about
straight away
the rest.
Dulfamire Dribbles through the contact. Nice hands from Machado. Dufemeier still going. Still going. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, he's been tough.
That's going to frustrate Adam Ford. Smallest guy on the floor. Nate's in there. Other guys are around. He gets not one bite at it, but two, and then finishes.
Double-figure lead once again. Soto straight up that time.
Straight up with his hands up, and Nate put the ball in his hands.
Straight into it. Oh, my.
Look at the bunny hop.
Taipans swarm on Johnson. Knock it out of his hands. Noit. Inside for Deng. Nice finish from the former 36er.
Deng on the scoreboard. Just 1 of 5 tonight. Quite Noit. Only taking 1 field goal. He's got 2 points from the free throw line.
Get it back to Teng. Detch. Wow. 3-pointer goes. Extra free throw to come.
And one.
Didn't force anything on that side. Simple little flare screen from Mitch McCarron. Jim McCall got lost on that and then just
got him on the arm.
A little bit on the arm, and he knew straight away.
Third foul. 68-55.
If you're heading out to our next home game and thinking about drinking, don't drive. Chat with your friends and family and plan your travel.
13-point lead for the 36ers. Sunday Detch, after this timeout, will be on the line to shoot for a 4-point play. This is starting to slip away from Cairns now.
It is. With Machado going 0 for 11, Majuk Ding 1 for 5. 2 of your guys that you expect to score a little bit, they've been disappointing tonight. And you know, Adelaide have given Cairns plenty of opportunity to stay in this game, but it just looks like now the smarter team's going to win this game.
Mitch McCarron has 21 points. Only Adelaide player in double figures. Cairns, on the other hand, have got 4 players in double figures and still find themselves trailing by 13.
1, 2, 3.
Thanks for being with us in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Now you can have your own personalised NBL highlights and content. It's now available with the NBL fan channel. Don't miss a moment of the action from your favourite team, favourite games of the season. You can register now with the details on your screen. Is there historical footage in there too? Like, could we go and load up some of Copes' best highlights?
No, I don't think. Mine was a long time ago.
Yeah, just pass me the link. I know you've got it.
You're a funny man. What's that website again? Look at that.
NBL.com.
I wouldn't mind locking in a couple of clips from 87 season.
87?
8 games.
Oh, yeah.
44 points a game.
48 minutes a game.
I was going to say, you weren't even here back then.
No. I was a baby then.
Dufemeier for Johnson. And a foul over the back.
You don't mind that. Again, just a bit of energy. He's got a couple of offensive rebounds. They're not in the bonus yet, and he's not in foul trouble. So for CJ Bruton, you say, look, that's not bad. I like that you're aggressive. We had guys back. Again, normally it's a point guard to be that safety in D-trans.
I still think Adelaide need to find a way, though, to get Johnson involved early.
Get touches.
Yeah,
because the defense knows that's where it's going to try and go.
2 for 9 is just not good enough for Daniel Johnson. We know he's been consistent and a scorer his whole career.
CJ Bruton, for the last couple of possessions, has been, whoever's guarding to Jim McCall, who makes that pass out, has been screaming to just come in and help basically guard everybody else. They want him to shoot that 3. That's what he said it to Mitch McCarron once on help side, just come right across, clog up the lane.
Less than 5 minutes to play. Johnson, shot clock at 4. Dufemeier with a hand in the face. The contact comes after.
That's just 2 stupid fouls by McCall. On a shooter. On a shooter.
22.
Two of them. Back-to-back three-point plays.
Yeah, be
Or 4
aggressive.
points.
Be aggressive, but don't be stupid.
So he did his job. Look, he made this one tough, and then you just got to contest it.
Just put your hand up. If he makes it, he makes it. You live with it. Don't put him to the line for 3 free throws.
And he knew straight away. That's why his head went down, because otherwise you'd be begging for a challenge. If you know you haven't touched someone, you're begging, saying, look, I promise you, I have not touched him. Oh.
Okay.
2 shots.
Again, he did the right thing. The shot clock's running down. You made him think about the first one, then you just got to stand there. If he knocks that down, shake his hand and say, that's tough.
Absolutely.
Look at this. Oh.
That's one of those. It's one of your shots, Pete.
No,
look at those.
Couldn't even hit the ring.
Couldn't even hit the ring, yeah?
Gadway Burgers.
Queensland faithful.
Sorry to bring that up.
It's all right. They still let me know. They still say thank you. The Illawarra fans not as nice about it.
No. To be fair, it was a 4 overtime game. They've been there for the best part of 5 hours.
True.
They're hungry.
Noi, late in the clock. The presence of Soto,
and he's big. You see when he jumped, he's really big.
And he timed it well.
Yes.
Again, he wasn't really going to get a piece of it, but just did enough.
And that's what I don't see enough. You got a guy that big. Somebody throw that lob up. He's big enough to catch it. Just throw it anywhere near the ring. He'll go get it.
Is this... So it's a 16-point game. They're going to go to the line here for a couple. So Mitch McCarron sat down. He's been terrific. Dusty Hannes, who hasn't played in the second half yet, he just checked into the game. Cam Bairstow coming back in now. Just want to still be a little careful.
Yeah, be careful.
36ers have lost their last 4 games in their home state. The last time that they lost 5 in a row in South Australia was 2012. They went on to win the Wooden Spoon that year. And Burgers for the 36ers fans.
And they're elated.
Should be.
It's Christmas in March for those kids. Pass for Machado. Noi had a fumble. Pinder crashes the glass. Machado.
Give me one. Please.
Offensive rebounds. The Taipans have given them more looks. They've had 15 in the game, but...
Johnny Pinder, 15 points, 13 rebounds, 7 on the offensive end. He's been terrific.
Two for Meyer. For Hannes. Yes!
Well, that'll feel very good for Dusty Hannes. It's been a tough night. Not about his season. It's to see one go down. And Adelaide 36ers, they've been really good.
There was talk about bringing another player in. Does that bother you as a player knowing someone else is on the way? I can tell you it does. As sitting in an import seat.
Well, it does, but again, you'd be thinking of Dusty Hannes, and he'd be thinking, look...
Casper Ware's on they thought Casper was coming.
But the way he's been playing, you'd be thinking back ahead, well, that's inevitable. When you're an import, like, that's part of the job.
Of course it is.
But again, it would not feel nice at all.
No, not at all. And if you're not playing well, the confidence level is at an all-time low.
Correct. And then you add that.
And then you add that someone's coming to take your job. I'm a different cat. Someone's taking my job, I'm going out shooting. Yeah, 0 for 10, yeah, well, he deserves a job. Or I might go 10 for 10. You never know.
Yeah.
You know, you made a mistake.
We kind of saw that with Mackay McIntosh, didn't we?
Yes.
Hey, man, got the tap on the shoulder twice and then said, that game against Melbourne United, John Cain Arena, and said, you know what? I'm going at it.
That's right.
Played well, and now he's been playing with confidence. Different situation again for Dusty Hannes. We talk a lot about who can take pressure off when the scoreboard's ticking over. Daniel Johnson, yes. Mitch McCarron hasn't done that, so the pressure's been solely on Dusty Hannes. I think Mitch McCarron, you look at, normally when you have the hierarchy of a team, imports are coming in designed to be high-volume scorers.
Yes.
When they're not that, how do you try and get him to that, or how do you change his role?
Is it too late in the season now to bring in an import?
Oh, big time. I think it is, yes. I think it is. And that's probably why the word has been McCarron needs to be a little bit more aggressive now.
I must admit, as much as it was great to hear the talk of Casper Ware potentially coming back, or even Jerome Randall's name mentioned, but I did wonder what the benefit would be for Adelaide, given their position. They're not going to play finals. Why you would do it?
I think too, you want to reward your fans, and you want to give your fans something to come to the game to.
I'll tell you what, it would have been an exceptionally tough guard defensive lineup.
Yes.
Of McCarron, Detch, and Ware. Would have been a lot of fun to watch on the defensive end. And Dusmeyer's been good.
He's been very good.
I'm not sure why they went away from it. When he started that game, it freed up Mitch McCarron. We spoke about it a lot. I'm not sure why they went away from it. They went back to their original thing. I think this kind of works well. He's 4 of 8. He's got 10 points, 5 rebounds, just the 1 assist. But again, he brings it up, sets up the offense, passes it off to Mitch McCarron or the likes, to Daniel Johnson, and then cashes in when he has to, transition and stuff. It's not like he's going to come up, hold the ball for the whole, get every on-ball early offense and try and get things to happen. If anything, he's just kind of that distraction of, okay, you're going to bring the ball up and then get us our main guys the ball, and look what's happened.
You see Scott Machado check out of the game. He's never had a scoreless game, and he's 78 for the Taipans. Tonight will be the first time that there is a donut next to his name in the box score.
And to be fair, I've asked this question before because I've called a couple of Cairns games in my lifetime.
In your lifetime.
Is he healthy? Is he 100% healthy? I don't think he is. Now, that's no excuse. You're on the floor. You still got to do better than what you're doing. But he's not the Machado of old. That's a given.
Well, he looked good the other couple of weeks. I mean, that game against Sydney, they were under man note to Jim McCall, and he balled out. Just found it tough for him. And I'm with you, though, that trying to figure out how do you get Scott Machado and Jim McCall to play at their best together. A lot of that time takes time to figure out. That's what the preseason's for. That's what getting there early is what the blitz is for. They've had injuries, so they have all to deal with all that, which hasn't made it any easier.
And Adam Ford's been fantastic over the time.
I love Adam Ford for the Cairns Taipans. And I can't speak highly enough. Good pass there from Byron Harris, because small market team, what are you building your culture on? And he's trying to do that with energy, hard work, but the energy
and holding them accountable.
That's what the Cairns fans love. That's what the faithful love to see. When you're doing that and you're up and about, it's an exciting place to play, and that's when they become really tough to beat. A lot of the time this season hasn't had the cattle out there. Injuries, COVID. We've barely seen Mirko Jeric. Craig Noyes just come back. Nate Jawai just come back. Scott Machado might not be 100%. Missed a big chunk. McCall.
I just think with Adam Ford, post-game, his honesty is refreshing. There's no BS. He'll just tell you if they've been good, they've been good. If they've been poor, he'll say they've been
And you appreciate that from a coach. I'd rather have that from a coach than you to blow smoke.
Well, you do. And you've had, there's been a couple of comments of people saying that, well, maybe he's gone a step the line here and there, but a lot of it was he's trying to, yes, they have had those injuries, and yes, they've had that, but you don't want coaches using that as an excuse. So he's saying, look, we've still got 5 players out there. I want us to play this way. We haven't been playing that. Highlight reel for you.
I think people also forget that you're dealing with grown men who make a lot of money to do something they love to do. So sometimes you gotta rub them the wrong way.
And they had 4 points in the 4th quarter and 55 for a game. There's only so much coaching that goes part of that.
100%.
20 of 72 from the field, 28%, 4 of 23 from the 3. Luckily, they got some points at the free throw line. Look, Keanu Pinder's been great. McCall fought hard, just had a couple of mistakes in terms of fouls and turnovers.
He's great, Ninga.
But it's been a tough night. And again, we keep saying, bringing guys back that you want to get Nate Jawai involved. The way they play with him out there is different without him. So again, no Zimmerman tonight, you've got to have to adjust. Not having a long period with everybody healthy with your main core, it's going to be tough. But one thing you won't stand for, as you said, is a lack of effort and discipline.
Nice take from Hannes. And one coming up. Faringa bus is rolling.
All the way to West Terrace, Hungry Jacks. Thanks for coming.
What happens after a 36ers win, Pete? You're an Adelaide boy. Is it all roads lead to Hindley Street, or what happens?
Man, let me tell you, Adelaide closes at 9:30.
Stop it.
The whole city.
Stop it.
The 7-Eleven closes at 10:15.
Stop it.
Come on, bro.
Stop it. I will not let you.
I live there too, Pete. I know.
It's gone crazy since.
Yeah, sure. Oh, it went crazy after I left. Okay.
You just about single-handedly took down the 9.
Man, I couldn't buy a carton of milk after 10:15.
That's because everyone else bought everything for you.
Yeah, okay.
What do you want a carton of milk that late for?
I like to eat my cereal.
Oh, do you? Like at 10:15?
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
This will be the 5th. Make that the 6th win of the season for Adelaide. They've had their troubles winning at home, but it's about to change. Nartai, what a dime for Inga.
Nice. I'll tell you what, though, if McCarron can stay the way he is, and I know CJ's going to keep that pressure on him, they should be able to string a couple together.
Wow. Hannah's searching for 2 more. HUI says no serve.
No sir.
The 36ers snap a 5-game winning streak and beat the Taipans 83-57 on the back of a season-high night from their captain, Mitch McCarron.
He was awesome, and the Adelaide 36ers, once they started to play a little bit smarter in the second half, good things happened, and I love what CJ Bruton did. The whole game was very vocal. Again, we keep talking about the big A word, accountability, making sure every single guy was holding them accountable on both ends, and that's what you want to see. From superstars to rookies to imports, every single guy was held accountable, and they come away with a massive win in front of their home crowd.
It's a big win.
It is a big win. Look, McCarron, again, we talked a lot about McCarron. We started off talking about McCarron. But if he can be aggressive offensively, because we know he's going to give you everything else. He's going to give you rebounds. He's going to give you assists. He's that kind of player. If he can be aggressive on the offensive end and get DJ some shots, I look at Adelaide.
Get DJ some shots against the right matchup. Yep. It was McCall at times. It was Jared Kenny at times. That's when, okay, we don't have to be fancy here. Let's get a ball screen, roll you down. Yep. Okay, we've got a big on you. Okay, let's get on the wing, you pop.
Or let's get a cross screen with a 1 to a 5.
Everybody knows in the league, Daniel Johnson can score the ball. Yep. So your defense is aware of it as well.
Unfortunately for the Taipans, 6 points in that final quarter is a new franchise 4th quarter low. Let's get down to John Casey.
Mitch McCarron, player of the game. Congratulations. That's a nice way to snap a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, no, it's great for the boys. Love the energy. Pre-game, we had some chats about what it took for us to get a win. It doesn't matter who the opponent is, it's about us. And yeah, I'm really proud of us.
You bounced back from last week's disappointment. We saw you post-game in the stands, just helping out, you felt like you needed to contribute, felt like you didn't bring enough on the floor last week. Well, you certainly brought it tonight.
Yeah, just frustrated. I think that's everyone. You know, we're frustrated as a group, frustrated as individuals. You know, we expected to do better, and we're not in the position we want to be. But, you know, we flushed our mentals. We had a great week of practice. We went at it, and we saw the results today.
Statistically, it's your biggest win of the season. Do you think it's your best?
Yeah, it's up there, definitely. You know, I think we played the right way. You know, we took the shots we wanted to do. We locked into the defense. We're going to make mistakes, but in general, I thought we were pretty good. So it's a great builder for a tough game in 2 days' time.
And you got contributions across the board tonight. We saw some different matchups. I think at one stage you ran an all-Australian lineup as well. So we saw something different. Do you think you'll keep experimenting as the season unfolds?
Yeah, obviously with Todd out, you know, we're down to 1 import. And, I mean, we've got contributions coming in from everywhere. That's when we're at our best. You know, we're not leaning on one guy to carry us every game. We've got to get contributions from everybody on the bench. And thought Kai was terrific tonight, closing the boards, protecting the rim. So, yeah, it's great.
Important to back it up, though. You're in action again on Sunday.
Yep, big game for us. Again, we got nothing to lose now. You know, we got to just go out there, play, have fun, throw everything at every game.
Congrats on the big win. Well played.
Thank you.
He was fantastic. It started with him at the beginning of the game as captain. It finished with him, and it had everything in between him as well.
Well, it must have. I'm going to say Lenarkov had a few words to say to him because he came out. This is what he wanted, double-double, but he wanted him to look aggressive from the first catch and shoot. And he looked like a completely different Mitch McCarron, and it looked like a completely different Adelaide 36ers, which
we've been asking for all night,
haven't we? I said last night, correlation does not equal causation. It does here.
All right.
ponder that. We're going to come back and wrap it up on the other side of this. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. Adelaide get it done by 26. A big win tonight for the Adelaide 36ers. 83-57, the final score. On their home floor they win, where they'd lost their last four. And the second half really belonged to them. They really blew the game open.
Well, they did, and they came down. I think you said it, Coach. Which team was going to have the less mistakes? And in the end, it was Adelaide 36ers. Just made smart plays when it mattered most. And we saw it a couple of times in the first half. It looked like they were going to break the game open. And credit Cairns, that's when they came back. And look, 57 points in a game. That's tough from the Taipans. They couldn't shoot the ball, but a lot of those shots were really tough. And they weren't open, boys. They're really hard to try and knock them down. You've always got a hand in your face trying to create stuff. A lot of one-on-one basketball. And that's what you said, Coach, was the Achilles heel.
And Machado 0 for 12 and Ding 1 for 6. He's not going to get it done. Those two guys, we need you to score in order to compete in this league. If you don't score, then we don't win. And it's obvious tonight.
Unfortunately for the Taipans, it's kind of symptomatic of how they've been going at the moment. They've only won 6 quarters of their last 28 coming into tonight. So they win one tonight, but don't win another one after that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Look at that, 4 of 25. The field goals, they've had 5 more field goal attempts than the Adelaide 36ers. I know they had some free throw discrepancies there as well, but yeah, it's tough.
Let's take a look at the Amy ladder as it stands for the Adelaide 36ers. It's a missed opportunity for Cairns, who could have jumped ahead of both New Zealand and Adelaide if they were successful tonight. But you can see the 36ers there are still towards that bottom part of the table. Here's the ladder, though, and what is most fascinating out of this is what it's done after Illawarra's win over South East Melbourne last night. A 6-point win for Brian Gorshin's men. They're back inside the top 4. The Phoenix, on the other hand, first time out of the 4 for 100 days.
Well, we were talking a lot about percentage, how important this game was, and I tell you what, it looked like the Hawks were going to put up a huge number. Like, I'm talking winning by 30 plus. So credit the Phoenix, they fought very hard in the third and end of the third and the fourth quarters, and in the end, Rattan Mays made a big shot. Tyler Harvey was good down the stretch, getting to his spot, not just relying on shooting the 3-ball. Antonius Cleveland was great as well, but Phoenix, there's so much riding on the rest of the weekend and the next couple of weeks, because yes, everyone's talking about, okay, Illawarra Hawks, South East Melbourne Phoenix, 4th spot, this is going to be crucial. The Jack Jumpers are slowly just ticking away. They're just saying, we've taken one win at a time. If you guys keep talking about the Phoenix and the Hawks, that was the game winner there from Rattan Mays. That's what the Jack Jumpers would love.
Do you have them in the 4?
I don't have them in the 4. Okay. But I don't think anybody does. That's why the Jack Jumpers are thinking, okay, well, we're going to win this tomorrow against the Hawks. You guys keep talking about Hawks and Phoenix. We're slowly just going to keep winning. We're going to keep chipping away, and then we'll make you talk about us.
Absolutely.
How big's tomorrow, all of a sudden? Tasmania, Illawarra. Tassie beat them twice already. And then the Phoenix, who are on the skids a little bit, taking on the red-hot Sydney Kings.
That's going to be a tough matchup. And let me tell you something. If Illawarra go out there and play the kind of basketball they've been playing over the last couple of weeks, then I give them a chance. But if they come out there and start playing individual ball, Tasmania wins that game.
Can't wait for that one. A Saturday doubleheader that is going to be worth watching from start to finish. Thanks so much for being with us tonight on behalf of Hools, on behalf of Copes, on behalf of John Casey and our outstanding team behind the scenes. Thanks for your company. We'll catch you tomorrow on the Hungry Jacks NBL.
That's my type. Air Jordan, I take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise. I'm top tier, I'm that guy. I'm the man of the year. I'm a man with no fear. I think like I'm a shark. The way I move so sharp.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Trade.
Everything like going smooth, so perfect, and then we had an hour to kill. And just as we were about to go to air, put John Casey's earpiece in, nothing getting through. And I'm like, well, it was working in the test, and then we're just scrambling because he needs it. You know, he needs to hear the commentary. Yeah, we was just frantic. I don't know, but the issue is when you give them their pack. Hand left and right, so that one person can get something, and then you can put them on the same frequency. And we had his pan to the left, and worked in the test, and then when it came time, all those are locked away. So we don't know because we don't know the ADs and something got switched, but we also reset the units back, just trying to work it out. So we might have had one problem. Pounded it all. Yeah.
someone to start us off?
Yeah, g'day, Adam, Josh from the NBL. Obviously, that was a pretty tough way to finish the game in the third quarter and final quarter. What do you put that down to?
Yeah, I mean, the whole game was a grind, right? It was two teams battling for form. You know, you saw that primarily in the first half where it was like momentum swings to and fro, but Adelaide were the ones to find form, and for us, it's just, you know, we're just really struggling to score.
Jason and Stephen, do you have another question?
Adam, with that, the run that Adelaide went on in the third and fourth quarter, is it the balance halfway through the third term with 1 point difference, and then they just really blew you away? Was that more about you or more about them, the way that the game sort of went in that last quarter and a half?
Yeah, no, it's definitely about us. You know, there are things obviously that, you know, we're trying to build on. And there's things that I've talked about before we were making steady progressions on. It's hard to stay focused on that, right? When you're also now dealing with the disappointment of a loss like that. We've had that infliction all season where we dry up for spells and our inability to score. And, you know, sometimes it's the offense. You know, we went deep into the playbook today, just trying different things. Sometimes it's the little things where you're trying to hit on screens, and then sometimes it's just missing layups and missing wide open shots. And so it's like that trinity of like just bad basketball that, you know, is more than most of our games. We've had quarters of that, and you saw it probably at its worst tonight.
And Taj, where did you feel it went wrong for you guys in that? I mean, Adam touched on there. You'd agree with that, I'm assuming, just the way that it sort of fell apart, the way that Adam described?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's just, I mean, Coach has done everything possible for us to be better. And, I mean, just looking at it like everybody didn't play good. So it's hard. It's hard to do anything when no one really has, besides maybe Keanu, no one played good basketball. We just, I don't know, we just got to be better. Coach has done so much to try to put us in positions to make the game easier. And we just not doing it right now. We just not doing it.
And Adam, with Scotty Machado, no points on none of 12, I don't think we've probably ever seen him do that. He probably won't ever do it again. Is that a reflection of the form that he's in? It's been a bit inconsistent. Obviously, he's had the injury as well this season, or was it just one of those nights where it just didn't go for him?
Yeah, look, obviously it's been a rough patch for him, and again another. You know, we're trying to get him going. You know, his disappointment obviously is outweighed by anybody else's disappointment, and he feels it. We can just sort of, I guess, like, you know, my brother, he hits me up all the time with things about, you know, just, you know, staying positive and the lessons you learn from this. And there are lessons, right? Like, it's only a loss if you don't learn anything from it. We're doing a lot of learning this year. And a lot of that was obviously also, you know, how you handle disappointment. You know, it really tests your character. So how we handle this disappointment, along a few other, you know, things that we feel like we've let ourselves down on, and this will just be another one of those.
My apologies, I don't know if you crashed as soon as I asked the question before.